What's going on, you guys? This is NWB Productions coming to you live. So we're going to talk about American Bullies. We're going to talk about how my program started. We're going to talk about my goals and aspirations for my program and what I plan to do in the near future. So first, my program started with a female that came, I want to say I got her in 2017, real solid. I did the things necessary for her to succeed. Not only like walking and feeding, but just the basic care. And she thrived. She was like probably like the run of the litter, I want to say. And I got her. And that's why I tell people, just because something is the run, don't mean they're not going to perform. You have to look into their pet or their genes. Well, her genes was on perfect. Her genes were perfect. She comes, her bloodline is Gotti, and she was line bred from the dogs that were within where my program originated from. And so as a result, I was able to get what I wanted. So when she turned about 2, she was just right, ready to go. About 2, I'm gonna say about 2, anywhere between 2 and 3. My brother, her first litter was fire. I had about 7 pups, and I kept 2 of the pups. 2 of the pups happened to be female. One of the things I like about the females that I kept, well, is that the angulation and they can move. They may not be exactly perfect, but they are like a better production of the mother. So I'm like, I kept my 2 females, and it was a great decision because not only do I have 3 dogs that are ready, that are right, that are up to par when it comes to breeding. By the way, those 2 females are about to turn 2 in June. Not only do I have 2 nice females, but I also have quality. The angulation on those dogs are great. When I say they can move, they can move. Now they got to their full height. They're a little bit, they might be one that's shorter than the mother. I want to say Bree is a little bit shorter than the mother, and the other one is a little bit taller. But overall, they both are quality. Now, I do see them getting a little bit bigger than their mom because of the size they are now. Also, in their pockets, they're all pockets, and they don't have easty westy, and the angulation in the back is just right. It's nice. So I was like, well, I need a male. It's cool to stud and whatnot. So I ran across this male from Pressure Pack Kennels, and it basically was the same bloodline, Gotti, and it just turned. I want to say, dog just turned 2 years old. When I say an outstanding dog, I mean quality, top line. I mean above all. It was great. They had a lot of good things. I might have saw maybe one thing or there that might have been first just trying to get information on, but when I realized and looked at and learned more about what consists of flaws in a dog, I realized that it was nice. It don't have any flaws. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's what I was looking for my program. So I've been feeding it heavy, I've been exercising, I've been doing the things necessary for it to succeed, and it is bad to the bones. You know him as Gotti Dior. So what are my plans to do with Dior? Well, I do want to do a couple of in-house breedings with him, and I also want to stud them out and do some line breedings with them. So my goal is to create that thickness and girth and compare it to my female, and I think I would have something nice in the making. Now, I look at flaws, so I like to look at flaws. What way can a particular male dog enhance my program? What way can breeding these 2 dogs or whatever 2 dogs that I plan on breeding, can it enhance my program? So I feel like Gotti Dior, he has a lot of qualities that not only can enhance my program, but can create great traits in the future. So I plan to use Gotti. Most likely I'm going to use him on my first female one time. That's gonna be her last breeding. I want to do 2 breedings with her, and then she's going to be retired, and then I'm going to do 2 breedings. I feel like 3 is cool with dogs, but I prefer to do 2 because I think overall 3 is kind of, unless you have a dog out there that's really producing on that level, I think 2 is enough. So I'll do 1 more breeding on my original female, and then do another breeding on one of my other females around the time they turn 2. And so what that would do is give me an idea of what they give me, a generation, a 3rd generation. I got my 1st generation. I mean, my 2nd generation, not 3rd. But if you're looking from the first dog, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. But if you're looking from the 1st, 2nd dog, second generation. But even still, I think he would produce some fire stuff with my overall dog. All my dogs are UKC registered. I had them registered ABA, American Bully Association, but not really into that particular, because it's a fairly new, not really into that particular paperwork, the registry ABA, but I can say UKC has been very solid. So I got some special stuff coming. The goals and operations and the things that I plan to do with my dogs are that I want them to be athletic. I don't want them to not be able to move. I want them to have that build, that head piece, and that overall angulation, and no easty-westy. I'm not really a fan of dogs that have, these thick bones, but they have easty-westy and they rear high and things like that. Would I go smaller than a pocket? Yes, but the structure has to be there. I don't really care for underbites. I feel like underbites it's not really, it can be a hassle. I don't want the bulldog look. I want more so of that old school beginning blood of like Gotti, but I want to stick to the American Bully traits. So digging into the gene pool will be something that I plan to do with Gotti. I haven't really looked and researched on what would be the best match as far as if I were to pull out another gene pool. But right now, Gotti bloodline happens to be my favorite. I don't really mess with all the other ones, not yet, but I'm looking what can be compatible, a compatible American Bully bloodline that would be compatible with Gotti. A lot of people like to breed Gottis and Razor Edge, but I don't know much about Razor Edge. But the question is, if I were to go out cross into another bloodline, will it complement what I have? Will it complement my yard? Will it complement my production? These are questions and things that I have. So right now it's springtime. So I feel like for any breeder, of course, you want to go by the heats. Well, my dogs just happen to go in the heat. The females that I haven't bred, they went in the heat more than once. They didn't probably went in the heat, I want to say three times since they've been born. They had an early heat, like at about 8 months, and then they had their second heat when they first turned 1, and then they third heat like recently. So I'm thinking about going ahead and getting them situated so I can go ahead and breed them on their first litter, get them ready for their first litter, but they're under 2 years old. So hopefully those things go planned, but the overall goals and expectations from my program is a high quality dog that can move, and not only move but perform on high end. Now, as far as the dog food, I didn't experiment with different dog foods, but for me, Perona Plan Pro Plus Sport, it works the best for me. Not only does it work the best for me, it thickens my dogs. It makes them real chunky, which they not chunky as in unhealthy, but they got some meat on their bones, and you can see the girth, and you can see their bone structure, and everything is on point. I'm happy that I've taken advice from different peoples like NBK, OBS, and etc. as far as kennels and even exclusive exotics and stuff like that. I took advice from different peoples, from just not necessarily directly, indirectly, when they give out information on, what they do for their lines and whatnot. And can't forget about OBN. These kennels really put out some great content that will help you as an American Bully breeder succeed. Now, do I want to be an American Bully breeder as in from a money standpoint or from a business standpoint? Overall, I expect to expand my program, but also still be able to live life to the fullest within extending my program, meaning that I don't plan on having more. $6 is the max. I don't plan on having more than $6, but I also want to expand my program, create partners where I can just keep 2 in my yard and maybe a puppy. Reason being, I feel like it's cool to have a lot of dogs, but what's a lot of dogs if it becomes a hassle? It defeats the purpose of what you're trying to accomplish. You're trying to better the breed. Well, you can better the breed when you have a team. You can better the breed with the bare minimum. You don't need no 10 to 12 dogs to better the breed. Now, that's good if you can afford that, but me personally, I really would be satisfied with just 4 dogs. I'm looking to switch one of my females though with a male, but they're paying me the other person. Actually decided that they're gonna pay me $100 for the female and give me a pup off of that female that's just having a dog, and it is nice. So, but that still defeats the purpose. I'm in a micromanaging part of my yard, so I would take advantage of that deal, but also I probably would sell one of my females, so I end up with 1 female, 2 males. Now, I'm not gonna have my males with each other, and one of them would be like a puppy, so I would manage from there. Reason why 2 males and a female, because I can have 2 females, but I feel like with the right males, you stud them out, you can expand your production a little bit faster than you can expand your production with females. And what expanding your production means is just getting your stud name out there, being an advocate for your stud, and not only that, treating them like they're supposed to be treated. So when you out in public or whatever may be the case, when somebody say they're looking for the breed, they already know where to come and they're willing to put in the work. Now, I don't believe in extreme stud service. Like some people have these 2K stud prices, 1K stud prices. I think as someone just starting out, $100, $200, and if it really gets high, $500 a stud fee is ideal, especially if it's producing. But right now, all nice quality dogs with a quality pet are acceptable. Even dogs that don't have the best pet but have the best quality as far as the first 3 generations. But this is NWB Right coming to you live just to talk about and let you see what my program goals and expectations. My goals and expectations to create not the most athletic dog, but a dog that can move, that's a little chunky but not fat, that has a muscular build, and that can get off if necessary, and will defend you with all costs, but still being an American bully in all its ways. This is NWB Right coming to you live for the one time. We're going to keep it G all the way, free 100% me. What are you doing? More content coming soon. Let's go.